everybody, it's Dr. Nicole with Healing Hands in Manahawkin, and welcome back. I have with me Pamira Besman. She is just a phenomenal woman. She's had a career in the pharmaceutical industry. You're a mom, right? And now you're just an advocate for other parents and other mothers to really bring awareness to and truth to holistic health and vaccine choices, and now in this world of a whole bunch of choices. So today what I want to talk about, if it's okay, is can we talk a little bit about the difference between the governor's executive mask order versus actual law?
Right.
And so I looked up the executive order, and there are like all these exceptions to having to wear a mask. And my feeling is, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but my feeling is talking to the general public, that nobody really knows these exemptions. They don't really know their rights.
Right.
And everybody is just like covering up. They're polluting their own bodies. They're breathing in their own carbon dioxide, and the other aspect that nobody's talking about is like, your mouth and your throat has all this natural bacteria, this natural flora, and like the same way that the virus would come out of you, and that face covering is supposed to be capturing the virus and the aerosol that comes out of your mouth. Like, these viruses are coming out of these bacteria are coming out of your mouth, and like you're re-breathing that in.
Right.
It's
pretty disgusting when you think about what's really going on in there. Yes, with the moisture, the trapped bacteria, inhaling back your own excess that your body wanted to get rid of. Now it can't, so we're regurgitating it in a way.
And bacteria are much larger than viruses. So, masks were never meant to stop a virus.
Right.
But they were meant more so to stop bacteria because they're larger organisms, right? So so now we're can you speak a little bit on the difference between the executive order and law, and what are our rights? Like, what do people need to know?
Right. So in the past couple of years, I got a lot into legislature and understanding the processes. So obviously, executive orders are not something we ideally should be led by. Executive orders are supposed to be for a finite amount of time, only for dire emergencies. And the difference between a law and an executive order is that there's a very well-defined process for something to become law. So in New Jersey, we have legislators, elected officials that are supposed to have the best interest of the people. We can talk about that in another episode. How well that's working or not can be debatable. But in theory, these people have access to the constituents, and the constituents have a feedback mechanism where they can voice their opinions and needs and desires about these bills that the legislators put together. And then it goes through multiples of hurdles of being heard and being discussed, and finally, if it's approved through all the different committees, goes through the assembly, goes through the Senate. Eventually it becomes, if it's going through all the hurdles, then it goes to the governor's desk to be signed into law as the final step. So it is seen a bill that a law has become law through the correct process has been seen by many sets of eyes, and it has been through the public opinion process as well. The public normally gets a chance to comment on it at different junction points. Whereas an executive order in this situation, what we've been seeing with Governor Murphy specifically, is that he's just pulling them out of his back pocket.
Right.
Completely bypassing all of the legislature, all of the regular processes, and he just does things because he said so. And then he constantly gives himself another 30-day extension and slaps on another 30 days of this almost tyrannical land of no rules, because he can do whatever he wants as long as he calls it an executive order. The truth is that any law and any executive order cannot be above the Constitution. The Constitution does not become null and void at times of emergency, even if there is a real emergency. The Constitution is always there to protect us, and the reason for that is because we believe, as our founding fathers did, our constitutional rights are not bestowed upon us by a set of politicians. Our constitutional rights are those rights that come to us from God. By birth, we are entitled to certain rights and freedoms, liberties and justices, equalities, and these are not for anyone to give to us, are not for anyone to take away from us. So no law, no executive order can ever do anything to you that interferes with your basic constitutional human rights. So in the case of masks, unfortunately, somebody's telling you that you're not allowed to breathe. So it only works because people are compliant. It is really not their place, and even the executive order itself has an exception for people who cannot wear one.
Yes.
Whereas now people have taken this virtue signaling of masks to such an extreme point that now businesses are enforcing it. Now people are enforcing it on other people. Now shoppers are attacking other shoppers at the grocery store.
Yes.
People are attacking mothers with babies for the baby not wearing a mask. It just became crazy, I think. I can't think of another word to explain it.
Yeah.
It has become crazy.
It's really become more of a psychological pandemic at this stage in the game than a viral pandemic. Would you agree?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, well, thank you so much for shedding the light on that, because truly I didn't know, I'm learning just as much as you guys are learning. And from what I'm hearing is that really the executive order is simply a rule or a regulation, but not really a law. Is that what I'm understanding?
Right.
Got it.
It's not a law. Yeah, you go to a store, they tell you mask up, it's the law. It's not the law. It's an executive order. And you have rights. Even if it's an executive order, you have rights.
Yeah.
And the other thing you were mentioning earlier was that the progression, right? Maybe we can talk about the progression of that too. It was originally supposed to be only in closed areas,
right,
only when you're not able to socially distance, and only if wearing the mask does not pose a health threat to the person who's wearing it. Now all of a sudden, we're seeing single people hiking up the mountain with a mask on their face with nobody else around them. Like, how did we get from that to that?
Right.
We have a huge disconnect, and now the brainwashing, the fear-mongering, the desire to look like you fit in, the desire to look like I want to be polite to you because I think you might care about it. This has now carried the mask wearing to a whole different realm.
Yes.
And I think definitely the narrative of I'm doing it to protect you, yes, is really contributing to it.
It's like the herd mindset.
Right.
Yeah, people are being influenced just because it's a herd mindset. But, I think, I think we should shoot another video. What do you think about shooting another video? And I think we need to talk about that. Would you guys like to know a little bit more about, even I'm thinking as you're talking about, wearing masks during aerobic exercise in the gym. So... Yes. Why don't we cut this one off, right? If you guys, of course, have any questions, always call. We're here to help you. We're here to answer. And I guess you're going to be seeing another video about the health effects of wearing a mask during exercise, right?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for connecting with us.